Hey everyone. If you're here, that's because you're smart enough to know what a disaster The Last of Us Part 2 is, and are looking for some confirmation for your opinion. If that's not you, and you stumbled across this video by mistake, you're in luck. In the description down below, you'll be able to find a review that's right up your alley. For everyone else, please enjoy my completely, truly, fully honest review of The Last of Us Part 2. No spoilers.
I'm gonna find... and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Over the years, as an art form develops, things tend to get lazy. Whereas before artists tried to push the envelope and strike at the soul, eventually they start looking for shortcuts to success by appealing to the lowest common denominator. These embarrassments use social topics and buzzwords to seem more intelligent and impactful than they actually are. The original The Last of Us, developer Naughty Dog's last such effort, was one such creation in terms of pandering and self-masturbation in video games. Now, 7 years later, the question the world is asking is, can its sequel manage to somehow right the wrongs of the original? The answer? The Last of Us Part 2 is not only the worst video game ever created, but it might just be the single most infuriating thing I've ever experienced. The story for this game is nothing short of a joke, as it follows Ellie, now 19, on a shallow quest in search of vengeance. What about? Who gives a shit? To have this game spoiled for you would truly be a blessing, and luckily, a group of heroes on the internet already did that for me, so go looking. We play as Ellie as she journeys to the northwestern United States and comes into contact with not only the banal infected that helped craft this world into another Walking Dead ripoff, but also fellow survivors that are the most cartoonish villains since Cruella de Vil. Unfortunately, it seems Ellie spent the last 5 years just plucking guitar and kissing girls. Ellie is a slog to play as, basically regurgitating gameplay that barely was acceptable 7 years ago. Playing as her is a miserable experience. In addition to all of the shitty stuff you could do in the first game, such as poorly shooting, wildly punching, and loudly choking folks out, you're given even more worthless tools to handle the threats in front of you. Melee combat in The Last of Us Part 2 is a more needlessly complicated and frustrating affair than its predecessor, where dodges and proper timing are far more essential to success, keeping you from just turning your brain off and forcing you to actually focus on this garbage. If I wanted to actually give a shit, I'd be playing a fighting game. Now, when not getting up close in an enemy's face, Ellie can craft a stupidly small variety of new tools to either quietly deal with her foes or blow them to kingdom come, all of which feel impactless and mind-numbing. Her verticality is also expanded, both in terms of her being able to lie prone, doing her best COD player impression by hiding in grass, and also being able to jump. Jumping completely destroys how you approach combat in The Last of Us Part 2, and is easily the worst jumping in any video game ever. If I wanted to jump, I'd be playing fucking Mario. The music, once again composed by Gustavo something or other, is distracting. He takes everything that doesn't work about the first game and cranks it up to 13. It runs the gamut from monotonous to annoying to ear-piercing, always ruining whatever immersion you somehow manage to find. The game also doesn't know when to best take it away, leaving moments feeling hollow and empty at the times when it tries to drive home the darkness the most. And trust me when I say that this game gets dark. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most emotionally draining experiences I've ever been through, taking you on a downward roller coaster that always surprises you with how pointlessly bleak it can get. It's no exaggeration to say that this is the most violent video game I've ever played. While you may see more gory and ridiculously bloody things in other games, none of them feel as horrific or as exploitative as they do here. This is a game that wants to push its opinions down your throat, and it will go as fucked up as it can to do that. You will experience things that horrify you, and it's important you know that it does this for no reason. The point that this game endlessly drives home with its themes and characters is a shallow corporate virtue signal fest that feels built to appeal to the easily deceived. The story never managed to engage me over the far too long 30-hour runtime, and I cried tears of joy when the credits started to roll and I knew I was done. The Last of Us Part 2 breaks the cardinal rule of video gaming. Have fun. By foolishly going along with what Neil Druckmann and his team have released, you'll find yourself on a manipulative disaster ride, just like its predecessor, that will make you beg to play games that actually cared about taking us away from these horrible times we're living in. Which is why, fuck the old review scale, rating this game like that would be pointless. This is a new benchmark of crap, and from here on out, all games will be rated on a plus or minus The Last of Us Part 2 scale, on which, obviously, this game gets an absolutely scathing rating of The Last of Us Part 2. All of which is what I'm pretty sure I'll be saying when I can finally play the game on the 19th when it's released. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching this stupid video. Hopefully you caught on pretty quickly that this was a bunch of bullshit, but I'm expecting a lot of dislikes anyway. If you did enjoy this, be sure to like the video, maybe give us a nice subscribe. As you can see, we're pretty small, which honestly should have been your first hint that I did not have access to this game. Also, if you're interested, the sister video to this is still linked down in the description and is coming up in the end card. I just thought I'd do something fun to pass the time during my wait. Also, if you're interested, we'll be posting up our marathon playthrough of the original game all next week in lead up to the release. If you want a reminder to check back in when that goes live, after subscribing, just make sure to ring the bell. I'm playing through with 2 people that haven't ever beaten it before, and so there are some fun reactions. Be safe, everyone.